Hi muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to do something that has absolutely flooded my DMs over the past, how long has it been? Because I feel like people are being dramatic. 20 hours ago this video was posted, and whenever I tell you my social medias have not been as flooded as what they have been since this video, you would think that this video has been out for years and I'm refusing to address it. But Trisha posted a video called Jojo and Colleen. I always love a good video from Trisha that is in lower capitals. We're always in for a treat when that happens. So we are going to watch this. A lot of people want me to react to this. I have not watched this video, but I do want to start by saying something. So there was this video that was going around from this video, that the Spill Some Tea With Me page, which I love them, by the way. They're probably watching this right now, and like they clip things and upload them so quickly. I've never seen a page that's like as on it as possible. They posted a snippet from this video, and it was Trisha talking about me. And she goes, you know, Adam, and, you know, he's made so many harsh videos on me, and he continues to make these crass, harsh videos on me, and blah, 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 right? And it really bothered me, because, don't worry, I'll promote the second channel. I just want to open with this, don't worry. It really bothered me, because I feel that anytime, and there's been a resolution to this, but I want to explain myself, okay? I feel that anytime Trisha has talked about this topic, she makes it very clear to kind of say the fact that we, you know, with the nature of what both of us do online, our relationship is a bit muddy, which kind of makes us very unbiased when it comes to each other, because us defending each other, considering our history, is actually, you know, it kind of goes to show that we're on the same side on this, even though we've disagreed with so much in the past. And so the first couple times she said that almost disclaimer when talking about me, I thought it was fine. And I was like, okay, that makes 100%. But every time she would bring it up, there was a couple times she would phrase it as, and he's still making these videos on me, because I've still uploaded videos, including this one, that have to do with Trisha. And it really bothered me, because I cannot tell you how many comments I get, how many TikToks I get tagged in, how many just tweets I get of people saying, what the hell? You're making hate videos on Trisha right now? You're trying to silence Trisha? You're calling Trisha a fake victim in Colleen, and you're saying that she blah, 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 with Colleen. And I'm like, none of that happened. But because Trisha keeps, you know, saying about our past with what I do on YouTube, with making commentary about things she's done. And by the way, I also want to preface this with Trisha Paytas has DM'd me in the past about my videos. And whenever I went on the Wendy Williams show, she actually DM'd me saying that she thought it was funny. So me and Trisha have had a very on and off, you know, in the past. But when she has kept phrasing it as I'm making these videos to the public, it has came across that the videos I made over summer on her were dunking on her and trying to silence her. And it really bothered me, because in the 7 or 6 videos that I've made about Trisha since this has started, whether they are about Trisha or they focus on her, I have been understanding of her. I have been trying to hear her point of view. I have been projecting her point of view on my channels to allow my audience to know where she's at with it as well, because we covered her podcast with Colleen. One of the videos was a straight up apology to her. I feel that I've been very sympathetic towards her. I feel that I've been very kind to her. So whenever she's continuing, and she does it in this video, somewhere in it, where she says this, and he's still making these hate videos about me, that's not true. And it really bothered me, because it feels like a really weird jab. And so I tweeted the clip and said, I deleted it now, and I'll explain why I deleted it. But I tweeted that it bothered me that Trisha keeps saying this, because it is factually not true. Like, since this has started over summer, I've actually gotten criticism for the way that I've been too kind on Trisha, which goes to show that you can't win. But I'm not saying this isn't about winning or losing, but I have gotten criticism for being so accepting of Trisha's point of view. And it's like, you can't do anything, right? And so I tweeted and I was like, hey, Trisha, like, this is really bothering me. And I really do want to say it, because anytime you're mentioning the fact that we've had an on and off relationship with commentary, and, you know, if you've done bad things and I've called you out, which I've stayed consistent with most creators and all creators on my channel, whenever you phrase that in today, whenever you're talking about this situation, it makes it seem like I'm trying to silence you talking about Colleen, or I'm trying to undermine you. And I just said that, like, I don't understand why you keep doing this disclaimer. Like, we've sent emails back and forth. Like, we've made progress behind the scenes. We don't have to like each other. We don't have to love each other. But it seems very saying one thing privately and then saying one thing publicly. And I'm going to be honest, it bothered me. I deleted the tweet this morning because Trisha did email me. And Trisha emailed me and basically said that she didn't think that it would have bothered me whenever she does the disclaimer. She explained the reason she does the disclaimer because, you know, I've made commentary on her in the past and we have had an on and off again relationship. Makes 100% sense. And it was basically just like a very well worded email that was kind of like, didn't realize it was having that impact when I said it. Didn't realize you were getting backlash from it. I apologize for that. Here's why I was saying it. Did not mean for it to go that way. Like, how can we move on from this? And then we, you know, it was basically, her email was just a nice email of, me and Trisha can just handle our shit privately from now on, because like we both said in the emails, we both very much so agree here. And we both very much so are people that have been affected in this situation. And I want to uplift Trisha. And she said that she wanted to uplift me. And at the end of the day, that's what this topic has been about, with both of us being involved in this. So I had a very kind of mature ending to that. And I did delete my tweet then. But the clip is going to come up in the video. I'm not going to say much whenever it comes up because I'm explaining it at the start. Anyways, let's get into this video from Trishy Fishy.
Okay, so...
Oh, sorry. More Adam McIntyre, my second channel. I'm daily vlogging every single day. People were like, second channel, and I completely forgot about it. I'm vlogging every single day over on my second channel. I'm literally going to be posting a vlog right after this. Please go over and comment or like or watch or do whatever you want or ignore whatever you want to do. My second channel, it'll be pinned down below. I would appreciate it. And let's get on to it. Wow, you were all spamming it and I completely forgot. Daily vlogs are my favorite content. Oh, thank you.
You know, I kind of leap to be whatever. It's kind of, I guess, behind the scenes of my podcast now. My podcast is happening right now. Even it's premiering. We filmed yesterday. And we talked about JoJo a little bit in there.
Okay, I need to slow this down. That is too quick.
And my co-host Oscar was saying JoJo, you know, has like defended Abby and said, you know, I don't know exactly if it was a good experience or what, but really doesn't have bad things to say about Dance Mom. Whereas I was in the position of very much like, as a viewer, like, even if all the kids are in on it, even if it's all for entertainment, even if, you know, it's still very humiliating to children for entertainment. However you look at it.
We're talking about Abby Lee Miller and Jojo Siwa right now because they talked about that on their podcast, which you can see right down here.
Like, she was humiliating kids. Now, if you think that made them a better dancer or a better person, like, that's your opinion. But it was humiliation. Abby Lee talked about children's bodies, the way they looked.
Man, fuck Abby Lee Miller. She's so fucking weird. Did you see her be like, high school boys? And that was on the Sophia with an F podcast, which I went on. And Sophia's really, really, really intelligent when it comes to questions and stuff. And I just know that Sophia was fucking dying in that moment.
Now, some people may argue, like, that makes a good teacher. That makes
Sophia in that moment. Ooh, you do not. Because Sophia was like, oh, yeah, well, I'll go for the coaches, like the adults.
I don't know that argument, but if that's what you want to feel it. But that show was to humiliate children.
Dance moms.
You know, JoJo's still very young. She's 20 years old. And I've met JoJo, and she is so nice. And she is, like, so professional. And she probably has put up with a lot. Probably more than she realizes at 20. Just going through all these experiences so young. I have respect for JoJo for navigating it so well, because I can imagine that it's very difficult being that young and still being so young and trying to navigate everything that she's gone through. Having said all of that, and in no way am I placing like blame on JoJo for these words she's saying. I think in this particular case, she feels an attachment, she feels a loyalty to Colleen. So she was on Howie Mandel's podcast today, and I think she felt a loyalty, this family bond to Colleen, as she talks about, to defend Colleen. And I think in this situation, she really should have just opted to not talk about it.
What is the public response to JoJo being like? What does JoJo use? Okay, so she doesn't really post on Twitter. Let me check her Instagram. What is the public response to her like? JoJo Siwa Instagram. Are people talking about it or are they not? Okay, this is a recent one. 1,000 comments. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, the comments are not good. Oh, and it's like the top comments. Defending a groomer and then victim shaming is vile. Not surprised. You hang out with James Charles. You support multiple child predators. You cater towards children, yet you're friends with multiple child predators. Grow up. You call Colleen cool and saying everyone is lying is so low of you. Did you hear her defend Colleen? Leave Colleen's ass in the past. You need to address your response to Colleen Ballinger's situation and apologize to Adam, Becky, and the rest of the victims and Oliver. This podcast won't age well for you. Not you defending someone like Colleen. How dare you downplay the victims? How disgusting of you. No wonder why you still hang out with James Charles and then the rest of them are limited. Okay, the response is not great. Not great.
When I've done interviews in the past, if there's something I don't want to talk about, I just tell them beforehand. If it gets brought up, I ask if they can cut it out. If it's just something that
this is what I said, which is like, whoever is on JoJo's team, we're not looking out for her that they didn't vet or shut down this question. Like, if she was going to do such a shit answer like that, shut it down. Or contact Howie Mandel and be like, remove that from your show. Be a little bit of a diva. Save yourself a little bit.
I shouldn't talk about, I don't feel comfortable talking about, like, you can love someone and they can be in the wrong. They can do wrong things. You don't have to defend the person you love when they're clearly in the wrong. And I'm so tired. I'm so tired of people treating Colleen's banishment somewhat off of YouTube. She's been off for a while.
Banishment? It's just a silly word. I haven't heard anyone call this Colleen Ballinger's banishment. I haven't heard anyone say that. What a silly little word. Banishment.
As a cancellation, because it's not a cancellation. This is someone...
This is a banishment.
When it comes to children and talking to children, the way she talked to children...
Wait, people are saying to check JoJo's TikTok comments. Okay, I'm going to have to do it on my phone because I don't think you can load it up on the computer without logging in, and I don't know my login. Once I get logged out, I'm out of that account forever. Jojo Siwa. Okay. Wow, she posts on here all the time. Okay, what's the recent one? 13 hours ago. 400 comments. You're giving Colleen. I'm very disappointed in you. Not you defending Colleen. James Charles and now Colleen. Justice for Adam and Becky. And Oliver, you guys. This is awful. Jojo, you've lost me as a fan. Jojo, I'm no longer going to buy my daughter a Jojo bow. Oh. Hit her where it hurts. Okay.
And the way she communicated with them about adult things, about her adult life, where she passed off very passive aggressively in a song was, she's not a groomer, just a loser. It's like, I'm going to share my own experience.
Not a groomer, just a loser. 'Cause 5 years ago I made a fart joke.
Because it really does hit very close to home. And it's why I have such a hard time with this to this day. Taking my involvement out of it, her sharing my nudes to fans, which is like so inappropriate. And that is confirmed. I keep hearing these lies. There's no proof. That is confirmed. She apologized. There's a video of her friend who's not even public, like next to me, next to my nudes. She admitted to it. It was caught. It was done to her fan. Like, these are all very disgusting behavior things that are proven. It's proven that she had a friendship with Adam McIntyre when he was 14 years old, invited him to have, lunch with her and meals with her, and everything is proven. There's all these instances of her in group chats with fans that were underage. And regardless of if you think it was appropriate or not, it's inappropriate. It's inappropriate. It's inappropriate for an adult to be friends with a child, period. And the first sentence of this, I'm going point by point because...
100% agree. 100% agree. Really do agree. Everything she's saying there, she has she's educated in the topic. She knows about Colleen meeting up with the minor. She knows about Colleen being in the group chat. She knows about the Colleen nudes things. Like, she knows everything to do with the topic. Like, she has taken the time to learn about the situation, and I think all of us appreciate that. Because if someone's talking about it, I appreciate someone knowing about the situation rather than, like, coming to conclusions on, like, a TikTok they saw.
It's not a very long segment. I don't know if they just didn't want to delve into it. They just wanted to use it for the title. Whatever the case is, like, it's not a very long segment. But the first thing she says,
Don't. Are you? And if I'm wrong, are you friends with Colleen Ballinger still?
Yeah,
What do you say about
I've known Colleen for
It's Inception right now.
So the first thing she says is I've known Colleen since I was 12, and she gets into it more. Next thing she says, she starts off right away with saying Colleen's always been really kind to me. Her family's been nothing but kind to me, just building up this character. She's a good person.
And I think there's something to be said about this as well, about whenever people, and I saw that someone tweeted this, and they were like, I hate when people say, oh, but they were nice to me. They were nice to me. They were nice to me, or their family were nice to me. And it's like, great. Great. Okay, but that doesn't take away from the topic we're talking about. Great. That does not take away from what we are talking about right now. You had a good experience? Okay. Okay. Did they also befriend you when you were a child? Yeah. Did they also exploit you when you were a child? Yeah. Will it maybe take you a few more years to realize that? Yes. Is JoJo a little bit of a separate issue because she's someone who has been exploited by adults all her life? Yes. Also to acknowledge.
And she goes on to say, the internet can take a lie and run with it so far that there's nothing you can do about it. But once again, there's no lies. Colleen herself has admitted to having very inappropriate text conversations with her fans that were underage. She's admitted to this. JoJo later goes on to talk about her own friendship with Colleen. Any adult, 18 plus, but when you're 25 plus, 30 plus, in her 30s, having friendships with 14-year-olds who admire her, and as JoJo later on says, she idolizes her. This power dynamic, that is grooming. Grooming.
Oh, but remember, JoJo said there's grooming and then there's serious grooming. Remember JoJo said that? JoJo said that there's grooming and then there's serious grooming. Don't forget that, you guys. There's serious grooming and then there's grooming. There's grooming, and then there's serious grooming. Oh, sorry, real grooming. Sorry, there's grooming and then there's real grooming.
Is
whatever the fuck that means.
Manipulate someone because there's a power struggle. There's an age gap. More. There's an idolization. They're not want to go against their idol. She has admitted to meeting up with Adam McIntyre when he was a teenager, having a friendship, going to dinner while his parents wait for him. And this is someone who's been married at the time, has the assistant. This is not lies. She sent my nudes to a fan, emailed me apologizing for them.
That's really interesting, isn't it, that Trisha got an email from Colleen? Got an email from Colleen? It's so professional. Got an email apologizing for sending your nudes to fans. An email? I'm aware that Trisha probably blocked her, but I just... Keep in mind, Trisha blocked her. I don't know if Trisha did, but I'm saying if Trisha blocked her, it would have been because Colleen lied about it happening and then was exposed for it. What? Trisha does communicate sometimes through email, but weren't these people friends?
There's her friend that's not even online holding it. She's very sick. This has been established. This has been proven by Colleen herself. There's no lies. When people say there's lies and they run with it, these are facts. These are facts. Let's get an actual definition of grooming: when someone builds a relationship, trust, and emotional connection with a child or young person so they can manipulate, exploit, and or abuse them. Her talking about her divorce, her talking about these things, and then saying, well, he did this, this, and this, he's lying, in these group chat with fans who she's is going to defend her because she doesn't want to. Either she'll think it looks bad on her, but she's befriending and sharing this information so that other people will share it. And these are children in this group chat. These are minors in this group chat. These are proven. I think people think grooming and think, well, if it's not sexual, if it's not this, no. This is why I'm going to reiterate, and I will never stop talking about this because I think it gets swept under the rug all too easily as a cancellation. I hate cancel culture. This is vastly different than any cancellation. Vastly.
This is a banishment. Here's the thing. What Trisha is saying here is absolutely correct. For JoJo to so loudly say that there's no there's nothing to back this up. If we're to strip everything back one by one, everything is proven. Everything is literally proven. So it's such a stupid stance from JoJo, and it really is something that puts her in a lot of leeway for backlash for something that's so unfounded. Something so unfounded.
Vastly different. This is
Yeah.
an adult being friends, and one of her own friends is now an adult, 20, and we're seeing this firsthand. And I don't blame JoJo. I never blame the child. At 35, I am still realizing, I'm still discovering things that were wrong that happened to me, things that I felt guilt about for so many years because I was groomed and I didn't know it. I didn't understand it. I didn't think anything wrong. I was like, I was always cool with this person. I was always cool with these people.
I'm
I just
aware
thought,
they are.
It's not grooming. And especially if it wasn't like a sexual thing, I'm like, well, it's not grooming if it's not sexual. But it is. Once again, let's reiterate, an adult having a friendship with a child is it.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think that's true. And I also think as well, furthermore, I just don't know if JoJo was the right person to go on the defense here when you're explicitly saying that you were also a child when she befriended you. It's like, you're so close to getting it, JoJo. You are so close to getting it.
Inappropriate, first and foremost. And honestly, it should be illegal. And I think people get away with it by calling it a friendship. But this grooming is real. This grooming is real. What business does an adult have being friends with a 13-year-old? None. Zero. There is nothing. This child is underdeveloped in every single way, emotionally, physically, mentally. There's nothing that would make it okay for you to have a friendship as an adult with a minor. Nothing.
Like, even if we strip back now and just focus on JoJo, like, what does 30-year-old Colleen have in common with 12-year-old JoJo? Like, okay, like, do we want to focus the conversation now solely on JoJo? Sure. What does a 30-year-old, or 29, Colleen would have been, I think, have in common with a 12-year-old? Why do they want to befriend a 12-year-old?
And they do want to talk about, yes, well, JoJo's in the same industry as her, and I get that, right? I made a video with JoJo Siwa probably twice. And even in just making those videos, just making the video and not hanging out or anything after, I was like, still kind of feels maybe kind of weird. Maybe, I don't know. Because when I did the collab with JoJo, her mom was over there when I first came, and I don't know if she like went upstairs or if she left, but I didn't see her for the rest of the video shoot. And again, she could have been upstairs. And I will also preface this by saying that I think the Siwa family is extremely nice. They're extremely gracious and giving. And, at the time when I did the collaboration, I thought, well, this is great. JoJo's, really popular. And so, in a sense, yes, if you're an actor, if you're on a reality show, and yes, if you're in the same field, right, doing YouTube videos, or I think collabing with, JoJo, I did feel some type of way. I was like, I don't know if I don't know, this is a child, and yes, she's professional, and yes, she doesn't act like this child, but I remember then a month later or so after the collaboration, she invited me and the person I was dating at the time to go to a New Year's Eve party, and I was like, I don't know, and her parents were obviously going to be there, but I was like, I just, as an adult, as someone, I think I was 25 at the time.
God, JoJo's entire life is centered around adults, and that. I cannot even imagine your entire childhood, your friends are just all adults. Like, what does that do to your mental state? Because in some way that has to have an effect, right? I'm just reading chat right now to get people's opinions. In some way that has to have an effect. It has to have an effect. Like, if you're growing up dealing with adults, hearing adults talk about adult things, hearing adults talk about adult problems, instead of hanging out with children where your problem is, I wanted a red outfit and I'm wearing a blue one, or I wanted that ice cream, not that one. Like, I think it's sad. And I think shame on the adults that continue to abuse that with these people that are maturing young. Like, go fuck yourself.
I don't really think we should go into New Year's with like a child, even though it was with her family, you know what I mean? And
yeah, let kids be kids.
Like, there's probably other children, and like my own birthday party, it's like, or not my own daughter's birthday party. It's like I just don't know if I want someone who doesn't have a child, who's not related, who's not family, coming to our party with kids. So same sort of thing. It's like if we don't have, okay, I should say like the person I was dating did have children. So he ended up just going with his children, which was like fine. But I didn't go. I didn't go because I just was like, I don't know, something just feels like not appropriate. And again, I've told this time and time again, I have my own very serious trauma from being around adults. Or bonding with adults, having friendships with adults when I was a teenager. It's what I gravitated towards. My father lived in California, I lived in Illinois, so I just didn't see him a lot. I gravitated to, mine was mostly older men, but there were some older women as well. And it really traumatized me. And that's my trauma, and I get that it traumatized me, but I just like, same thing, I tell the story, Emma Chamberlain, who was 17, and a friend group of mine was hanging out with her, and she was downstairs, and they were like, well, should she come up and film? And I just didn't feel comfortable. I'm like, you know what? I know everyone's like, what, when you're 18 at this magic age, all of a sudden you're adult, kind of.
It's crazy to think about Emma Chamberlain whenever she was like 17 and 18, was in all these social media influencer spaces as well, being like thrown around as like the young member to film with. Like David Dobrik as well exploited the shit out of her when she was so young.
I mean, kind of, but kind of not. 20 should be an adult, but 18, 19, yes, legally you're considered adult. You're more developed. You are more developed when you're 18 than you are at 17 than you are at 16. Just like 19, like those years are so crucial. So yes, 19 dating 17 is very crucial in the way you mature and the way you form. Obviously, when you're 40 dating 38, it's closer to age. Of course, it's different because you're fully developed. They say around 25. So even a collaboration, okay, maybe a collaboration, maybe, but even then, it's what demographic.
I think one thing that kind of terrifies me a little bit is whenever I was 18, I thought I was so grown up, and I thought I was so grown up whenever I was 19, and I think back at decisions I made when I was 18 and 19, and I think back on like things that were like really affecting me when I was 18 or 19, or how I handled things emotionally, and I'm like, wow, I was so young. Wow, I was so young. And then I'm like, am I going to think that next year when I think about being 20? Like, at what age do you stop thinking, oh, wow, I was so young? Like, am I literally going to be 21 and be like, holy shit, I knew nothing at 20? Because I think I know a lot now, but whenever I was 18, I thought I knew everything. So, oh, it never ends? Okay. Uh-oh.
Graphic are you trying to appeal to by being with, a younger creator? And, when I collabed with JoJo, I thought it was like, she talked fast, she liked glitter and bling. And so, again, for me, it's like, I think relatively innocent. And then I'm just like, well, this is a child at the end of the day, and there's no really like work laws for a child when it comes to YouTube. And it's just something that I wasn't necessarily interested in like collaborating with because she was a child. You have a friendship, you're forming a friendship, you're hanging out with this person. And if I'm being honest, like I'm not trying to defend my stance in this situation, but I really just didn't know until this kind of interview right here. And then like seeing, I just had to research for myself, like seeing all the times they hung out just as friends, as if that was like completely normal. Somewhat a grown woman who's like,
I mean, one thing that's not being talked about is Rachel Ballinger, like, befriended Jojo Siwa to the max. Like, not even Colleen. Well, Colleen as well, but Rachel Ballinger had Jojo Siwa over many days, and like they spent so much time together. And like the worst part about all of it is that there was a time on social media where people were thinking that Rachel and Jojo Siwa were dating because of how close they were. There was a time period on the internet, which lasted quite some time, where people believed that Rachel Ballinger and Jojo Siwa were dating because that's how close they were. Oh, sorry, people still think that they're dating. So, Rachel Ballinger is also a fucking creep.
a relationship, married, all this stuff, like you're friends with the child. I can't fathom what goes through someone's head to say like, yeah, let me hang out with a 14-year-old when I'm 30 years old. Jojo and Colleen are 15 and a half years apart. They're 15 and a half years. So if Jojo, did she say, I had to watch, did she say when she was 12 or something? She know. 12?
She was 12.
27-year-old, and you are friends, and she says they are friends for this long. No matter what the situation, the dynamic is unstable, it's unbalanced,
and also, Jojo said that she is a fan of Colleen and she idolizes her. So, I mean, Jojo is literally putting in place the fact that Colleen used the fact that there was a power imbalance to her advantage. I hope Trisha brings this up. Oh my god, hi, Keeper.
Why is the adult, you have to question, why is the adult friends with a 12-year-old? Collabing is to gain followers, get more popular, okay. They keep using this excuse, Colleen, and now JoJo's using the excuse that Miranda sings as a character. She's a comedian. Colleen has said herself that, now she's saying that Miranda was never meant for kids, yet you're collabing with a collaborator, a YouTuber, an influencer whose audience is primarily children. If you're not meant for children, why are you collaborating with this person?
I think I would be less hard on JoJo right now. I need to sneeze. Hold on. Oh my god. I think I would be less hard on JoJo right now if she didn't have if she didn't have a child audience and consistently time and time again promoted predators. So my generosity only extends so far. If JoJo didn't continuously promote the hell out of James Charles, Shane Dawson, Colleen Ballinger, all these people, I would be very sympathetic towards her, and I'd be like, you know what? I feel a little bit bad for you. But Jojo Siwa is describing these kind of relationships. Her family are aware she's in these type of relationships, but they're able to profit off of these type of relationships, so they don't care. They're able to profit them. Jojo Siwa has been made aware that James Charles is a self-proclaimed predator. No problem with that. They're filming collabs as recently as a month ago, promoting that to the children that follow her. And she does have a responsibility to protect her audience, and that's why I have no problem calling her out here, because she is actively promoting predators to her child audience, and I think that there's a responsibility, and I think she isn't upholding it, and I think it's disgusting.
It's very chilling, if I'm being honest. It's very chilling.
And also the fact she invalidated me, Becky, and Oliver. Yeah, that is also something to note. And invalidating Trisha, too. I mean, Trisha is someone who is a victim in this situation with Colleen. Sorry, I need to wipe my nose. Hold on. Oh my god, I nearly smashed a candle.
The more layers that come undone about this, it's really just like, wow, who is this person? And so... She goes on to say, again, Colleen is a comedian, and years ago you could say things that were okay that now they're not. No one's debating that. There's poor, tasteless jokes. There's that. There's also becoming friends with a 12-year-old, but not just JoJo, becoming friends with a 14-year-old, Adam McIntyre, becoming friends. There's 2 girls in the group that 16-year-olds. Like,
people are also forgetting the amount of members of the Weenies. There were 25 members of the Weenies, wasn't it? 25? Well, there was 25 in the group chat. So there's also a lot of fucking 14 and 15 and 16-year-olds as well. There's like 20, 19 or something. Like 19, like 14 or 15-year-olds, 14, 15, 16-year-olds that also experience Colleen Ballinger trauma dumping on them and talking about Josh's penis size and talking about her sex life with Eric and stuff. There's a lot of people out there that Colleen Ballinger has had a negative impact on as an adult whenever they were children. So...
almost this like deflection that's like, oh, all these lies and oh, this comedian who made jokes. That's not what people are upset about. She's becoming friends with her fans underage. She's sending unsolicited nudes of me, confirmed to at least one fan, alleged to other fans. This is the issue. This is a sickness. Sending unsolicited nudes is a cyber crime. It's sending someone else's nude, not only morally wrong, but it's like flashing someone who didn't ask for it. But back to the children thing, let's reiterate, and I'll just keep driving this home. I don't care if I sound like a broken record. being friends with the minors and writing it off as just not a groomer, just a loser. There needs to be actual accountability. Why is she hiding now? She did this ukulele apology that was not an apology. She did not say sorry. She did not fully address this stuff. I got an apology.
She didn't say sorry, but she acknowledged enough that goes to show that she's guilty. So I think that there's also something to note in that. You know, she had her time to speak up, and she did. She made the ukulele video, and again, if you strip it all back and just look at the words, she says she was in group chat, she says she overshared, she said that she's a creepy aunt, she said all these different things. Someone said, 2 things can be true at once. You can be a groomer, and you can also be a loser. Thank you for letting... That's true.
2 weeks after I made my video, because she straight up lied, she told me the fans were sending her nude pictures of me. Meanwhile, she was doing it. Proven. Her friend, who's not online, right there, sending it. How else would she have that picture? Emailing me saying, I'm sorry, from her email. Double, triple check that was from her email.
Not the email.
This is proof. I got an apology, but these people who she had inappropriate relationships with, she can't just say, because right now,
I'm gonna be honest, I'm bitter that Trisha got an apology and I didn't. That's just me being bitter. I am a bitter bitch at heart. And I am bitter that Trisha got one and I didn't get one. Or that Oliver didn't get one. Or Becky didn't get one. Or we all didn't get one from Johnny.
The logic of her not talking about this is like, she knows it was wrong. Maybe she's worried of getting sued, which is like, I guess the only logical thing. But it's like, as far as I know right now, it should be a crime. I don't think it's a crime to be friends. I don't think grooming is a crime as of yet. It definitely should be. I guess it's hard to prove because what is manipulation? What is all this like that? I really do think there should be a law where adults should not be friends with underage children. There's absolutely no reason. There should be no hangouts, sleepovers, nothing. No matter how innocent it is.
Speaking of sleepovers as well, I mean, it was confirmed as well that she tried to do them with the member of the Weenies. She would mess us all the time by, when are we having sleepovers? With a bunch of fucking 14-year-olds. Creep.
But the most chilling part of this for me comes at the 36-minute, 15-second mark, where
what is this?
Howie and his daughter are talking about, you know, a lot of young girls, like Howie's daughter, if she could write to JoJo and become friends with her, she would. And JoJo kind of cuts them off and is like, the difference between me and Colleen is we became friends.
Colleen and I once I became her friend.
The difference between Colleen and I is I became her friend.
JoJo says everything that, like, proves all of our points. JoJo said, you know, it's different with me and Colleen because we actually became friends. Babe, you're so close to getting it. So close to getting it. And she did that to you when you were 12, yeah? That's the point we're making, JoJo. You're so close to getting it, my love.
Saying, oh, the difference between me and the people that want to be my friend is I became her friend. And it sends utter chills through my body because I defended my groomer the same way as we're friends. I'm not going to turn him in. I'm not going to lie. How I lied so much in my early high school years, I switched high school 4 different times, is I had an older male in a workplace. We became friends. And just friends, right? I have a lot of issues with teachers other ways. So I was just friends. But this teacher became friends, and I started believing things he would tell me, and I would get other people in trouble based on what this person was feeding me. And why? Because we were friends. I was going to stick up for my friend, and he would constantly tell me, well, I can't say this stuff, I can't do this stuff, but I'm just letting you know because I trust you and you're my friend. And what that does to a 12-year-old, especially, first of all, this is just like a teacher, right? I couldn't imagine if that was like a celebrity that I loved or like someone that I really truly idolized. But I was like, this is an older person. They have power. They have authority, which is attractive in, you know, in any type of way. And then so I started believing this person, believing their lies, started lying on their behalf, getting other people in trouble, which is something I felt so much guilt for. I changed schools multiple times. I felt so much guilt as an adult, and I was like, wow, I even thought my relationships, I was reaping karma for lying as a child on this person's behalf for this person and to get other people in trouble, and I just felt immense guilt. I felt immense guilt. And it literally wasn't until I was 34, 33 that I realized, you know, it wasn't my fault because I'm a child. I'm a child, and like, oh, I need to defend this person. If I want to stay friends with this person, I should do this. And that's what friends do. I didn't have friends in high school, so this was my one friend. And I thought I was special too because I'm like, well, the difference Literally, JoJo says it to a T. The difference between that is we became friends. So that's what I was told as a teacher student. Well, the difference between me and other students is we're friends.
That is such a good point. That is such a good point. Trisha's saying JoJo's defense is, oh, well, me and Colleen became friends. But that's the full point. The full point is people telling you, who are grooming you, oh, but you're different, or you're my friend, or whatever. That is literally the point. So JoJo is literally confirming what it means to be groomed by someone.
And that sends chills in a way that I probably can't explain and people will think I'm so crazy for. But this is one thing that I hold so true. And it was a shock. When this all came out this summer, it was a shock. And I still hold to this. It's 100% the truth. When it first came out, I just didn't look. I just didn't see stuff just the way I didn't see it years prior. Like I don't know, 2020, 2018, all these years, like I wasn't close with Colleen. I didn't see it that way. I didn't see stuff. I don't like to see stuff about my period. I didn't see stuff. Obviously, all this stuff was slapped in my face because I was doing a podcast with Colleen, and I was like, it was a shock. And I don't have this long history and this loyalty, the sense of loyalty to Colleen like JoJo has, but enough to where I'm like, well, okay, are these lies? And like JoJo says, this happens to her. And she's like, it happens to a lot of people. Yeah, it happens to a lot of people. Lies get exaggerated. Lies get thrown out there. But this is proof. This is proof with children. It's a whole separate thing. You are hurting children. You are hurting minors. On top of the other stuff, okay, that's bad. You have these relationships with minors that is inappropriate. And you have a platform to take account for this situation. In my opinion, with this kind of stuff, I don't think there's coming back from it. I just don't. Woody Allen recently said something that he doesn't believe in cancel culture. And the thing is he does come back and people support him and actors support him and Colleen will come back and people will support. I'm just saying, in my opinion, this is something where it's like there's not even an inkling, there's not even an acknowledgement that this isn't right. This wasn't right. This wasn't right. Like I came from it from an innocent place, but I understand why it wasn't right. Like, and maybe she doesn't understand why it's not right, which is also very scary to think. Like, this is what's so scary. And JoJo, too, to think it's okay still. That this friendship was okay, that this friendship was normal and healthy. It was happy. I'm consensual in this relationship, in this friendship. I'm consensual. I want this friendship. I idolized her. It's not a friendship. She goes on to say she idolized her, and she goes, she's just cool, which is, in a nutshell, why she's...
You're forgetting it. Colleen's cool and talented and has done so much for the YouTube space. Thank you so much, JoJo, for letting us know that. Thank you so much, babe.
Finding her why she's being there. She still idolizes her. She still holds her on this pedestal.
Which further goes to show that there's a huge power imbalance when she keeps talking about Colleen as a celebrity and like her as not one.
And she says she's just cool. And then goes on to say that the internet is capitalizing off her and continues to capitalize off her cancellation. JoJo, this is not a cancellation.
It's a banishment.
This is not a cancellation.
What is it,
This
Trisha?
is not people capitalizing off of something. This is disgusting, gross behavior that gets slipped under the rug, that just gets slid under the rug like nothing. Like nothing. And so many people get away with this. And so many people, young people, get hurt by this. And no one's, people writing it off as, oh, drama, people capitalizing, people making money. I've heard this now from a couple influencers in defense of Colleen. One other influencer, I'll say, in defense of Colleen, who was like, it's drama, people making money off this, it's sick. Don't get it twisted. Colleen Ballinger is the sick one in this. And it's a sickness. And it's a sickness.
True.
It's a sickness. To not even think of this as an issue. To not even apologize.
To not be accused of the things that you're being accused of and not come out and talk about it seriously is sick. I think not enough of us focus on that. That Colleen Ballinger is being accused of being a child predator, and her response to that is coming up with a song. I'm aware we've trolled that to death, but please keep in mind, this woman is being accused of ruining children, preying on them, grooming children, and her response is to come up with a song. That is the kind of person we're dealing with. I know we've trolled on this song to death, but keep that in mind as well.
The one clip that really got me, and
it's
based off lies.
It's a scary place when you put yourself. It was one thing.
You know, again, talked about this numerous times. Adam McIntyre doesn't like me. I don't.
Oh, here's the infamous clip. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to play it. It's what I talked about at the start. We've emailed. We've sorted it out.
Care for the content he's made about me. I think it's a lot of it's crass. A lot of it's awful. He continues to make videos that don't like me and criticize me for every single video.
That was the comment that pissed me off. He's continuing to make these. about the videos I've made recently, but we're not gonna talk about it. We've moved on, blah 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 blah.
But that doesn't change the fact that of what Colleen did. And there's facts, and there's facts, and there's just, how can anyone say these are lies or defend Colleen? Like, her editing the clip of their live chat, which started this all, I guess, I have no idea what year, this is 2018, her sending Adam McIntyre.
I know I said I wasn't gonna talk about it, but that was so crazy. That was like, she just included that for no reason. She just included that for no reason. I know I said I wasn't gonna talk about it, and we've sorted no problem with her anymore to do with this. But wow, that was such a random thing to throw out there. She literally goes, and then Jojo, Adam McIntyre makes such crass videos. Don't like him. Anyway, back to the topic.
The unused.
Okay, I'm glad we've at least had a little bit of a discussion, because that was like just so random and rude.
Panties that she ordered. She clipped it out. I don't know what year it was when she did her defense video way back when. She clipped it out, and when she said, "Who wants these?" Like, Adam, do you want these? She made it seem like she clipped it out that Adam just asked for them and she sent it. When in
True.
It's facts. It's out there. She clipped the part out that she said, "Do you want these?" Making it look like, oh, he asked for these and I sent it to him, which either way is weird and all of it. And to me,
That's true.
she always explained it as just that situation.
That's also something that people don't focus on enough, that in her 2020 video, that even still to this day, people are like, she's already addressed it. She literally edited and doctored evidence to try paint me in a certain light. That's why she's shutting the fuck up right now, because even her defense in 2020, Colleen Ballinger had to doctor evidence in order to make herself look okay in the situation of being a predator. So there's no defense there.
As very much like, oh, I was sending people clothes, and oh, I should never have done that. It was like this one time thing, but it's like, no, their friendship went deep. Their friendship went deep, and it was a friendship, and I understand why Adam felt some type of way. Like, he was, I think he said he was like losing her. He told his mom, like, I'm losing her, I've lost her, this kind of thing. Because
oh shit, she knows the quotes from my video. Work. But I mean, yeah, that was something I said.
When you're friends with someone you idolized, which Adam was, which all these fans were, which JoJo is too. The difference is JoJo's very famous. JoJo has influence.
And JoJo has said that she's a fan.
That friendship. You know, Adam, she cuts him out, she cuts him off, and then that spiral feels so intense.
People are forgetting that Colleen did not just cut me off. Colleen cut me off and then started talking shit about me in DMs with other fans. That's what bothered me to the max. Colleen didn't just cut me off. When she cut me off, her and Corey started... This was before I even made my 2020 video. Her and Corey started shit-talking me in DMs. People are forgetting this. This was not just Colleen cutting me off. Colleen started shit-talking me. This is not me saying about Trisha, but I'm saying that people always forget that. That Colleen and Corey literally started shit-talking me. If Trisha brings that up, great. If she doesn't matter. But I'm saying that, like... This was... No. She sent the internet mob after you. No, this was before she made the 2020 video. This is before the 2020 video. This was before I made my first ever video on her. Literally whenever I was just someone in the fandom. Yeah, Galaxy Colleen. You know your lore. She started, after she cut me off, she ran to all of my friends privately talking shit about me, saying that I was running hate pages, that I can't be trusted. Corey was saying that I'm an evil person. This was before I even made my 2020 video. That was why I made the video.
And he's still a young adult processing this, and I wrote this in my email to him. Sometimes you can't even process the trauma until 25, 30. Sometimes you don't realize it, and I'm not trying to make...
Galaxy Colleen was an account that was, like, making fun of Colleen or something, or making fun of her and Corey and Eric and stuff, I think. I didn't run it, hand to God, but fuck me, I wish I did at this stage. I think it was that. Yeah, it was... I think it was like one of the first snark pages on her. Yeah.
Victim where they don't want to be, right? I'm not saying JoJo needs to feel this way, that I get her headspace. I was 20 years old dating 50-year-old, thinking it was completely fine. I was in control. I wanted this. I'm mature. I'm, etc. On her head, she thinks this is normal, and it's just not. It's
cat hair.
Not. It is inappropriate to be friends with a 12-year-old when you are 30 years old, 20, 27, 28, and over 30 in the case of Adam. It's very inappropriate. And real people got hurt. Real children got hurt. And whether it's under the guise of she's a comedian and inappropriate jokes, the female who was 16 that felt violated at the Miranda show.
Shout out to Becky.
Legs open, She deserves an acknowledgement.
Shout out to Becky. Love you, Beck.
Colleen, and an apology, because she felt that way, and that was inappropriate. And even when you make inappropriate jokes, right? Not even at a real person's expense, you make inappropriate jokes 10 years ago, you apologize for them because you've offended people. I've done it. I'll continue to do it. You know, yes, there's jokes you make in poor taste, and forever I will always apologize anytime they get brought up, because that's what you do. You've hurt someone, and if I'm apologizing for just hurting a group of people with a joke or something, like, this is a real person. This is a real child that felt some type of way leaving your show. This is a real human, physical interaction that you humiliated. And to not even give an acknowledgement.
And Becky felt violated, and Becky felt scared leaving the show. Love Beck.
Or to call it a fart joke is sick. And to see JoJo defending her, it makes sense, because she's still in the I idolize her. She's cool.
It'll
She's a
come.
big YouTuber.
Don't worry. It'll come.
We're friends. It makes sense, but it's so disheartening. And I feel very sad for JoJo. And she might say, don't feel sad for me, I'm not a victim and all this like that. But it's something that even in my early 20s, dating someone who was 55, 60.
Sorry, my earphone keeps like falling out.
Lying for them and covering up very serious things. It, like, at the time, I just thought, well, you know, it's fine, it's cool, they're cool, they have my back, they're covering for me, all stuff like that. And it's not fine, and it's not cool. And I sit with some immense guilt from even being a young adult in this situation and stuff that I was manipulated in when I didn't even know it was manipulation, when I didn't even know it. And I have a feeling, just watching this, that this response, this defense of Colleen, the only public one we've seen from an actual close friend of Colleen, is manipulation working, is grooming working. If you've been friends with me since you were 12, you've known me for this long. Howie asked twice if she's giving to Colleen, and she never answers the question.
And I absolutely love that Howie kept being like, so you don't think she's a groomer? And JoJo would be like, no. And Howie would be like, and what age did she befriend you at? 12? Interesting. Let's move on.
But I have a feeling this defense is a result of everything she said. She's cool. She was my idol. We've been friends since I was 12. And like I said, I get loving someone. But even the people you love, when they mess up, you don't need to defend them. You can love them. You can make sure they're okay to the best of their capacity, because I know no one wants anyone to hurt themselves. People just want closure, accountability, acknowledgement.
Ooh, what an ending. What an ending. I think that this video was really well done by Trisha. I think that, you know, she can speak from personal experience. I think not only from things she is saying that, you know, she's gone through in life, but also the fact that she was in environments where people were filming collabs with JoJo. She also filmed them with JoJo, and it's important for people like Trisha to speak on topics like this, the same way that we were giving Josh credit for talking about family vloggers, considering that he was a very, you know, someone who vlogged a lot, you know, vlogged his entire life. So shout out Trish, and we'll leave it there. This is for everyone for the past 20 hours that have been like, watch this video! And I'm like, okay, give me time, baby, give me time. So shout out to Trish.